Hi, this is Rachel Beth at Seven Seas Brewing in Tacoma, Washington. You're listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars, the podcast that blends the modern scooter lifestyle with a twist to the paranormal over a cool cocktail. This independent podcast follows a group of modern Vespa riders, and there's a new one with us, in search of classic pubs, dive bars, and haunted taverns. This is not smart. This is not safe, but it's really fun. And as a disclaimer, we never encourage drinking and scooting, and keep our drinks to just
1 per hour.
Thank you, Lizard. Welcome to our new format. We are no longer going to have a season.
What?
We are on podcast number 22.
No way.
This one's called...
Is that a made-up number?
A Lyft Ghost.
A Lyft Ghost. L-Y-F-T?
Well, like Uber, but smaller.
You've heard that before.
Yeah. So welcome to the garage. Shelley, you're back again.
I am.
Can't get away.
No.
Lizard, hello.
Glad to be back.
And we have Dick.
Who? Who's Dick?
Well, Richard's here.
Good as Cheech.
He's got a new scooter. It's green.
It's a beautiful scooter.
Yeah, he does. You just had a milestone birthday, and your wife surprised you with a new 300 Super.
Both. You're right on both counts.
So
60 is the new 80, I told.
Yes. You know, Lonnie has got 1 year, and you're almost there to the big one.
Oh, it's like 6 months.
And your wife got a new bike today. What'd she get?
So. She bought herself a new Trek pedal bike because she's going
Well, she's
ride
gonna
it to work.
She's going to outwork your ass.
She's going to... Never. She's going to commute to work somehow on that thing.
Man.
She's going to put it on a bus.
I think it's going to go
the front
on
of the bus rack, and then she's going to ride.
She's going to pull a Jay Inslee and get off the bus and pedal 2 miles to work.
Gotta have the spray bottle to mist the sweat on.
So there you have it. Our cold open from Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
This is Jake at the Camp Bar in Tacoma, Washington, and you're listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
Okay, go, Mark.
Hey, Mark, Lizard and I do have a confession.
Oh, no.
Confession?
We need to be upfront about something.
You've been stepping out.
Well, we can you see it in our eyes?
I can. And I'm just wondering, did you get a room?
Not on that day.
None of your business. But why did we step out without you? Because you were...
Uncommitted.
I wasn't uncommitted. I was out of town.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You went for a ride without me, you bitches.
No, we just didn't go for a ride. We went for a fabulous ride.
Where'd you go?
Great day.
Where'd you go?
Well, you can only imagine where we started.
In honor of you, we went to Buckley first.
You saw
to the
my
firehouse.
girl. You saw my girlfriend Janelle.
Janelle was there.
Yep.
She said hello.
You sent me a picture of her, and
Yep.
it didn't quite look like her.
Well,
Remember,
growing
she's
up.
listening.
I doubt it. She says, I don't know how to listen to a podcast. I go, well, let me show you. It'll just take about 2, maybe 3 minutes.
Just going to plug this in here.
Whoop, hang on. Not that fast.
But we left and we went to the firehouse in Buckley, of course. And then we
Did you eat there?
I think we had a snack, yeah.
I think we did have a snack.
Yeah.
Tater tots?
No, something
Pizza?
refreshing. No, not that heavy.
Lime?
Lime? Slime.
I don't recall, but it was, and then we decided to head to Enumclaw to the Yellow Beak, which I had never been to.
I've never been there either. It's always been on the list.
And it's been about 20 years since I've been. It's been a long, long time.
Tell us about the Yellow Beak. This is a bar review podcast. Review it, please.
It's a typical Enumclaw bar, I think. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It just looks unassuming. And you walk in, it's got...
it's on the Maple Valley Highway.
Yeah, not the Maple Valley Highway, but the
that road
from,
that
from
goes
Enumclaw back down to Auburn.
Yeah.
And it certainly has locals. I mean, everybody there knew each other.
Yeah, and plenty of
Bikes.
Harleys there. There was service, if you recall, there was one guy behind the bar that worked his
he was
tail
doing
off.
everything.
Service was great, and we had a nice time there.
It was. Good fit. Nice. It's a little bar, open space.
Would we go
It's
back?
a local. It's a good stop.
I'd go back.
Yeah.
If we're in the neighborhood.
I wouldn't put it as a top 10.
Not
but,
a destination.
No, but if you're in the area, it's worth a stop.
All right.
Without question.
Scoot to it when you can.
Yeah.
Rating.
For sure.
Cool.
And then from there, we went headed down to Auburn. The
Okay.
Funky Monkey.
Spunky Monkey.
Spunky Monkey.
Funky Monkey.
All right. Tell me about that. I've never been there either.
I don't think we've been there before either, but
I was there once 2 years ago.
One time in college?
One time in college. That was the
Like
Spunky
torn
Monkey.
jeans.
Experimental phase.
But no, it was surprisingly good.
Almost looks like a Salvation Army
Kind of
look to the outside, and you go in and go up the stairs, and voila, it opens right
It's
up
an
to
upstairs bar
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kinda
over a
strange.
building.
I don't know. We just went up a half a flight of stairs.
It's almost like a 70s style
right
home where you
downtown
a
Auburn.
split house. where
Nobody
you-
can see your hand movement, Mark.
Yeah, they can.
But
split level.
We will
But
definitely
keep them
have to
above
go
the
back.
table, please.
Sorry, I had a moment.
Yeah,
But-
and so it was a worthwhile stop for sure.
Give us a visual. You walk up a half a flight. You
It
walk
was
into
kind
the
of a
bar. What's it
70s
look like?
feel.
Yeah, it's quirky. It's really quirky. It's kind of pool table to the left, small bar, probably an 8-seat bar,
Oh,
7-seater.
how about the back bar?
Pretty mundane and typical. They've got a little bit of a side kitchen off to the right, serving chips. But no, it's not a classic bar by any means, but it's a unique kind of a dive bar.
Quirky.
Yeah, good
Worthy
stuff.
of another stop for sure.
Well, cool. So those are the 3 bars. Can we get back to Janelle for a moment? What was she wearing?
She's an enigma.
Yeah.
Like a mystery within a puzzle?
It's a good thing you didn't see her that day.
All right. So she might have been out the night before. You
And
never know.
she was planning a trip to go to
Thailand or something.
Thailand with her daughter.
Or Singapore.
She's a diver.
Yeah.
Oh,
And she
she's a
was pretty
diver.
jazzed about that. But as normal, as usual, we weren't really the focus of her day.
She didn't jump into our lap.
It's that birthday thing. They just keeps driving us. I sent you a text and I said, please tell her I've lost 20 years.
She had 20 more to go.
All right. Well, it sounds like you had a great ride. And Dick, it sounds like you had a great ride. And we'll be back right after this.
Hi, this is Liberty at the world famous Kenton Club in Portland, Oregon, and you are listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters and Bars.
So a little housekeeping. We need some more reviews. You guys haven't given us many in the recently. And so I want to remind you how important it is to a small independent podcast like us to go on iTunes or Google or on Facebook, on our Facebook page at Chasing Ghosts Pod. And please give us a review or give us a rating. We'd really appreciate it. It's our 2-year anniversary. If we want to keep going, we've only got a couple of grand invested in this so far. We keep going backwards. We're in the red. We need your review. We also want to just bring up the fact that in the UK and down in Australia and New Zealand, you guys, you've been listening to us. Tell us some stories from down there, would you? Would you go to your phone, open up the extras tab, find your voice recorder, and record a ghost story or a scooter story or something? I'm talking to just you guys. I don't want you guys in Russia that have been listening.
Nyet!
We cannot we cannot understand you, but we need you guys in Ireland.
Can they do
in the
just
UK,
an intro,
New Zealand,
maybe a transition?
Australia. Yeah, and if
Does
you
it have
do
to
that,
be a ghost
if you send
story?
me a story. It can just be a transition. It can be a ghost story. It can just be a great bar story. But
Lizard,
we
how's
wanna
your
get you on.
Australian accent? Maybe you could send one in for him to appease him.
Man, he's got his eye. You know, there's more women in Australia than men.
No way.
Yeah, it's like 5 to 1. It's unbelievable. Even guys like us could get lucky down there. I'm kidding. I know it's really only 2 to 1. So anyway, if you guys have a great story for us, we know they're out there. We would love to have you share it, and we'll put it on the podcast.
This is Wandering Tyson, current record holder of the longest journey on a 50cc scooter, and you're listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
So last weekend we got a chance to go to Portland and visit our buddy Andrew from the owner of the Portland Vespa shop.
Yes, we showed up late in the afternoon after being on a train for 4 hours and a bar or two before we got there. How do you think that felt for him?
Well, certainly Andrew is prepared and he knows what to expect, but I think we probably hit him kind of hard.
So he took us up to his office. We sat down. We set up the microphones and the recorder, and we did an interview. And he had a lot to say
He
about
was ready.
About the scooter world and scooter news and Portland Vespa and the whole area.
Let's listen to it.
Why don't we go there now and do a little bit of Andrew in Portland Vespa with some scooter news. So we're with Andrew Kalachi here at Vespa Portland, and we drove down here to do a fun little scooter news.
Scooter news! I love scooter news.
And he's joined us in his office, which, by the way, is beautiful.
It makes a great studio.
It really does. If you, we want to apologize up front because we rode the train down here, spent 4 hours on it, and they fed us drinks.
4 good hours.
Right. So, welcome, Andrew.
Sorry, I had to finish my drink. Also, this is the break room, but yeah, hello.
Oh, it is? Oh, I thought it was your office.
But yeah, hey,
I can
nice
tell
to
by
have
the
you guys
trash
here.
can.
So, one of the cool things is you just celebrated your 1-year anniversary of buying the shop.
We did.
But it's been here longer than that, so tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, so Vespa Portland's been around for probably, I think since 2001 or 2 is when it started. There's
2.
Is it 2? Something like that. I've heard a rumor that the person who owned Carrazzo or went on to make Carrazzo actually had this place first, but they've also heard a rumor that he just worked here. So
Nice.
I don't know. And then went through 2 other owners. A guy named Justin who had it for a while, and then he moved to Las Vegas because he got tired of the weather up here, and he opened up Red Rock Scooter Tours in Vegas.
Nice.
They pick you up from your hotel and you go ride through Red Rock National Monument, and then
On
they take
scooters?
you back. Yeah, on genuine Buddy 50s. Something
Because
to do.
you don't need a license.
I think, and it's a closed course. It's a
Yeah.
national monument. Yeah. So then Paul and Maggie had it. Paul, Maggie, Henry, and then they retired, and we took it over.
So, Andrew, when was your initiation here? What year?
February 23rd.
1 year ago, Mark, remember?
2018.
That's when you took ownership. But when did you just came in?
Oh no, I had a scooter. I bought a Vespa Primavera in 2016. I had what I affectionately call like my lousy corporate job, but it was actually a really good job for the 13 of the 15 years I was there.
So it's not a feel-good story where you worked here as a mechanic,
Oh,
worked
no,
your
no,
way
no.
up, and
No.
took over.
No,
No.
it was
So
my
you swooped in and took over.
No.
pretty much, yeah.
God.
No,
damn.
but he didn't just take over. He took over. He's killing it right now.
Yeah, the corporate job was a little shifty, and it was time to go find
Shifty?
something else.
Well, we know Shifty.
Yes, you do. So Paul was 69 or 70 years old, and I said, "Hey, are you going to retire someday? And if you do, are you going to sell the place?" And he said, "I'll probably retire in like 5 years." And that was June, maybe 6 months before we bought the place. And the once the retirement seed was planted, the timeline kept shortening. So we
Is
took
he
over.
still around?
He moved up to Washington, in Stevenson, Washington, and then him and his wife bought essentially a Sprinter van, and they just drive around the U.S. and
That
hang
is
out.
so cool. Enough about him.
Yeah.
So let's talk scooter news. What's going on in the scooter business? Because you are our source for all the great things happening. What's going on?
First up would be Vespa Electrica is finally coming out this year. There was rumors it would be out last summer and then Q1 of 2019, and here it's finally coming out.
What's new about it?
Well, it's electric.
Oh,
Right.
That's the first thing.
So it doesn't burn much gas.
curls your hair, though.
It does. That will arrive later this month or in early April. If you've ridden a Vespa Primavera, it's the exact same frame. So
What's
it'll
the
feel the same.
BTUs on that?
Don't know. 9,000 at least.
Oh, that'll
Just
knock your
good-
socks
that's
off.
Good for one room. That'll be out March or April.
Nice.
Recent.
Yeah. So we originally announced on the podcast, if you've been following us,
When was
that
the
it was
last
going to be out in
podcast?
November, but it is now going to be here in April, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So,
Kind of like our last podcast.
So-
we promised next month, and here it is. And
so it's hard to
March.
find ghost stories and scooters and bars, and they all mix together. Sometimes, and it's cold out and snowy. Sometimes it's a little hard.
I can tell
So-
by your hard nipples, it's been quite chilly.
Okay, keep going.
All right. So so it's on the official Piaggio order form. It should be here in late March or early
They are
April.
poking, by the way.
And
I know.
we saw the bike in Florence last year at the Piaggio dealer meeting, but it didn't have a battery in it, so couldn't do
You
much
couldn't
with
ride
it.
it?
Couldn't do anything with it. It was just on a stage. But they debuted it at EICMA in Milan in November, and Robot from Scooter West went over there. And
Yeah.
he did a video of it.
I
on
saw
their
some
website.
of their posts.
Wait. Back up. You went to Florence for a dealer meeting?
Yeah, like 2 days after we bought
Where
this place.
were we?
Not invited.
Damn it.
Next year, boys. Next year.
What else? What else going on?
The GTS is finally getting an update. So starting in the 2020 model year, they're adding the HPE engine, which is 12% faster and has 18% more torque.
HP for high performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're also doing some aesthetic updates, but it's
Are
basically
they
a
doing
faster
anything
GTS.
with the mirrors?
I
Yeah,
don't
the Mickey
think
Mouse
so.
mirrors.
That's-
What's going on there?
Yeah.
I don't mind them. Do you like? You don't like?
No, mine have black, low slung, really cool mirrors.
From
Mine
SIP
because-
or
Kind of like he
something?
carries himself.
Yeah.
Little
Is it
lower
SIP?
slung.
I always say SIP scooter ship.
What else is going on? Oh, there's another GTS coming out called the Super Tech. So if you
Wait, whoa! I don't know about this.
you don't,
This is big.
So if you saw
You didn't put this in the preview notes.
I didn't.
You've been hiding this.
Well, you know, you got to have some surprises.
I like it.
That Primavera Sport you saw downstairs that has the TV screen basically on the dash.
Oh, yeah,
The GTS Super Tech is getting all the HPE updates as well as that new screen.
Wow.
So you can connect your phone via Bluetooth to your scooter, and
Can you watch a movie?
I hope not.
Yeah.
Midget porn right now. Yeah. We're working our way up.
And
And there's a chicken in the background.
Okay, so everybody,
We'll have
we
eggs
are
soon.
totally transparent. We're upstairs at Vespa Portland with Andrew, and our wives just walked in, so now they know
Hence
what
the
we
cackle.
do. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a gallery going on here.
they're all on a 2-seat love seat, and there's
This
three
is
of
the
them.
first time we've ever had a live audience.
Well, no, we've had one person like Kent Nevin sat in with us once, and they're doing their best to be quiet, but they have a beer they're sharing, so they're good.
The HPE engine is also coming onto the MP3. If you want an HPE MP3 500,
That's a lot of letters.
500.
it is.
Really?
It's a lot of acronyms.
What's that run?
The MP3s are like 9,000 something.
So
That's it?
So a real quick
So
question.
we got to
about-
get one.
Are they still selling the MP3?
Yeah, they have one model. The Sport is still in the U.S.
Is it working? Is it been popular?
A few a year at least out of
Yeah.
here. I'm not. They sell a few of them in San Diego because in California you don't have to have a endorsement for a 3-wheeled vehicle, even though it rides like a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So people buy them to lane split the border.
Oh, they don't have
both
to.
directions.
Yeah. And Washington is talking about doing a law with lane splitting, which is very exciting for me. You know,
You've been
no
split-
comment.
You've
No
been
comment.
splitting for a while.
What else?
What else is going on? So here locally in Portland, there's a company called Scoot PDX, and they it's run by a lady named Lorraine, and they rent Buddy 50 scooters out to people throughout the good riding season, and they're going to reopen in late April or early May. So if you come to Portland and you have a friend who has a scooter here and you need to get one, and you don't know us at this shop who could just give you one,
So if we came down here, we can borrow a scooter and ride around.
100%. From us?
Nice.
Yeah, you guys are on
Andrew, please.
You're on the good list.
All right, good.
Careful.
The vouch list.
At the moment.
Yeah.
But not anybody, you know.
So, Mark, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
To this point, Scooter News has been our baby.
We just invited Andrew,
Yeah.
and
Andrew
he's
has
in.
been dominating us. What do you have for Scooter News?
what's up?
'Cause
Scooter
Scooter News
News!
is
I would-
actually your thing. It's your brainchild. I'd like you to contribute.
So I wanted to talk about the high output, high performance new Vespa, the 300, which I'm pretty excited about. So,
I can tell.
and
That's a wooden table, ladies and gentlemen.
ladies and gentlemen,
Don't
that's
we have,
better than
don't
saying
we have
folks.
listeners everywhere?
So that's what I want. I was going to bring that up in Scooter News on this podcast, and Andrew's already
Well,
talked about
I
it.
gave you 20 minutes and you didn't take the advantage of it, so
Yeah,
I'm waiting.
So he's covered it.
Lizard.
Well,
there's-
our wives have been drinking on the train, so they're going to keep talking lizard.
They want the lizard.
One of them's taking a
Well-
phone call. I mean, what's going on here?
We're
Cheers.
losing control.
You know what? I'm just here to stop the rumor that the Lizard's not going to have his own podcast, and I'm going to stick with you guys for next year.
Oh, that's a big relief.
So your daughter named his new podcast that he might have done.
My daughter named his podcast.
Life of Lizard.
What?
My daughter did?
Yeah, Macy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm really into the tech. That's Scooter News to me.
So there you
So
go.
there I go.
We also have some new stickers. So we have the new Chasing Ghosts sticker that's out. We put some down at Portland, or at Vespa Portland, at their front counter, so they can give it whenever they get a new scooter. Slap one of those babies right on there.
First 12 people will get one for free.
Because they cost like $1.25 a piece. They're really expensive.
Well, they are black and white.
I know, they're not even colored. Now, let's go down a different path.
I have more stuff, though.
Okay, let's go.
Again, locally to Portland, Spring Scoot 25 is coming up. First weekend of April. It's the 25th annual Spring Scoot put on by Twist and Play Scooter Club.
Okay, slow down and say that again. I could not catch up with that.
Spring Scoot 25 is this year. It's the 25th year of the annual Spring Scoot put on by Twist and Play Scooter Club.
Before you go any further, we were invited when we were down here last summer for our ride to join Twist and Play for a happy hour. And
what happened?
It was, well, you guys had plans already, so we couldn't react fast enough because we heard about it like an hour before.
Oh, that Friday night.
Yeah.
Right. And our trips are usually dialed in 7 months ahead of time.
Oh, yeah. And probably we were at the Sandy Hut for 6 hours.
Oh, wait. Oh, we do love the Sandy Hut. We are not joiners, just so you're clear.
Fair enough.
We're not leaders either.
I know. We're like nothing. Okay, now go.
Other than that, we're doing a moto-inspired fashion show here on the second weekend
What?
of April.
Will you have leather?
Hello.
By the way.
Leather?
You did? That's awesome. No, there's a Dawn who didn't get a ticket because she paid for her parking. when
Dawn
you guys were down
Mofet?
here. Moodhart.
Whatever.
She has a place called Portland Apparel Lab in town. They do prototyping for anyone who wants to move a fashion idea to manufacturing.
Really?
To kind of walk you through that process.
Do we have fashion ideas?
Yeah.
During a Halloween party, I said, hey, we should do a fashion show, and then it turned into kind of a crazy thing. So now it's for Portland Design Week, and
So you guys are involved?
yeah.
Well, the thing is, with the look of a Vespa, they get often used in photography and a whole bunch of other things. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
There's at least 13 designers that we know of, and we're expecting between 300 to 800 people in this building.
Wow.
It's
That's without us? Without us?
Without you.
many?
Surprise,
Wow.
surprise. Come on down. April 12th, Friday night, 6 to 9 p.m. What else happened, go? We had the scooter cannonball. Have you guys done that yet?
No.
Like we
Talk
have to
to
drive
us.
to the East Coast?
Yeah, where you go to the East Coast
Yeah.
or back. A Seattle scooter club called Soldiers of Destiny.
Oh,
You know about
yes.
that?
Yeah,
We went
Oh, yeah,
and
you
saw
went
the
to
movie.
it.
Yeah.
They did the scooter cannonball in 2016 from Jacksonville, Florida to Mukilteo, Washington. They had their premiere in Portland here. It was pretty good.
Yeah, we follow them, we went down in Seattle and watched the premiere at the Elysian Fields down there, and it was really cool.
Yeah, it was a great video. We had like 220 people came out, and they're doing 2 more showings soon. One in Bend, Oregon, at Spoken Moto, and then they're actually going all the way to San Diego to Vespa Motorsport, Scooter West. They're doing one down there too.
Nice. Wow. Yeah, well, they're
Pretty
active online and elsewhere.
Hopefully they
I bought
ride
a lot
there.
of parts from them, but I'm trying to buy them from you.
Thank
Maybe
you.
we should try that.
We should.
Hey, Mark, is this our longest scooter news?
It is, well, it depends on how I edit it.
So I think Andrew is our MVP for scooter news right now.
I got one
Because
more
you
thing.
have one flash pan.
He's
in
not
and out.
done yet.
And he's got more
He's
info.
not done.
I got one more thing. Just
All right, let's
purely
go.
for jealousy purposes. On Wednesday next week, I'm flying to San Diego.
Yeah?
And then we're walking across the border to Tijuana, and we're flying to Mexico City. And we're going to ride Vespas from Mexico City to Guadalajara over
Oh,
4
my
days.
gosh.
Really?
No
Cannot
kidding.
wait. Yeah, with
How
Robot,
much?
with Steve. That same squad that did the ride from San Diego to Mexico City in 2015.
Yeah.
That's on their YouTube channel. Those bikes are in Mexico City again. They need to go to Guadalajara.
How much Coke are you bringing back, and how are you getting it in there?
And why aren't you
I'll
sharing?
never tell.
Wow, what
To
a
your
cool
man
trip.
pouch? Is that what you're doing?
Can't give away any secrets there, Mark.
Well, I see it right here.
So great stuff, Andrew. And one more little thing you need to do.
Yeah.
You need to do the interlude. You need to do the
Oh.
one you sent us.
This
is Andrew, and you're listening to.
You have that file at your house.
I know,
you
but
do.
I want
We
one
want to
right here live.
Andrew, come on.
This is Andrew here at Vespa Portland, and you are listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in bars. Or in the break room of Vespa Portland.
And you did it without reading it. That's beautiful.
Good job, man.
And here's more from the Chasing Ghosts crew.
Okay, we're back with Andrew. Now we're going to be doing a little bit of spooky news. Do you have anything you can tell us about, Andrew? I mean,
Hopefully today.
Can you make
I don't know.
something
I'm
up,
halfway
please?
between where you're at and halfway between the skeptic sitting next to me.
Thank you.
So I'm not sure if any of this stuff is actually ghost related, but there's a few things that all revolve around like this 1 square mile around a friend's house. A childhood friend of mine in San Diego his parents moved out to the rural part of town called Hamul.
What was that?
It's called Hamul, Jamul.
Bless you.
Yes.
I thought that was a sneeze.
Two weird things. So one time, years before they moved out there, my dad and I were out cruising around, and it's basically a desert outside of San Diego.
Everything's a desert.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And we got stuck kind of doing this like light off-roading, and we're just digging out of this little trench that we got into, and this guy showed up rolling down the road in a white pickup truck. And he said, "Oh, do you guys need a hand?" Whatever. And like, I was just visiting my friend up the street at his house. So he got out and gave us a hand with the shovel and kind of bracing the truck to get out of that ditch. And then at the end of that, he kind of disappeared kind of quick back to his truck, and he called me over and he said, "Here's 2 sodas for you and your dad." And it was these ice cold brisk iced teas, like they had just not been in a truck for a good hour or more in the desert. I took him over to my dad, and he said, "Oh, where'd you get those?" I said, "Oh, it was that guy." And we turned around and looked, and that guy was gone. And there was no dust trail. It was a desert. It's not like he could have dipped behind a tree. There was nothing, like nobody. It's just us.
So Andrew, I've got a question for you. As a skeptic,
that's a cool story.
You have a personal experience, and you're still questionable.
I am.
Because I've never had experience. That's why I'm skeptical.
So if he drove away, you would have seen his truck driving
100%.
away.
Yeah, it was a desert.
And how long was it between when you took it over to your dad and the truck drove away?
35-foot walk, maybe.
So there's no way he
walk.
could have gotten out of there.
Yeah, and what makes that weirder is that friend I was telling you about, whose parents moved out there, and he lived in the loft of the barn on the property. We would go on these hikes at night, just kind of around their area, and it turned out it was that same spot. Like, I recognized the street configuration and whatnot, and I told him the story. I said, "Oh yeah, this guy drove down from this way. He said he was visiting a friend's place," and my buddy said, "There's no house up there." And we walked up the road, and sure enough, it dead-ended, and it was just a field. There was no house.
So he came out of nowhere, gave you a brisk iced tea.
Yeah.
We have
strange.
We have a brisk ghost.
I think
that's why it's like, it just seems too ridiculous.
No, that's the kind of stuff that happens that people just they don't even think to report it or talk about
Mark,
it. So I think
before you
cool.
bogart my question,
yes,
that I asked Andrew and then you took over.
Yeah.
Can Andrew answer the question of what makes you still semi-skeptical and semi-believable?
Because I think in general, stuff that we just don't have an explanation for immediately, we just immediately go to it must be a ghost or divine
How
or
much
whatever.
Were you drinking?
Zilch. I was probably in 8th grade.
Okay.
Andrew.
I like it.
Other stuff on that same property, so they have a house that's got a lot of property to it, and it has these rocks that are kind of in the dirt. And whoever lived on that property well before them was there a long time, because it had like the mortar and pestle holes in those rocks, like dozens of them.
Oh, yeah.
And his mom always claimed that she would see Native Americans walking around on the property, and then they would just disappear. Like I was saying, he lived in the loft of that barn. He claimed one time that he was about to fall asleep, and he heard these steps walking up the super creaky stairs of the loft across the front of his bed and into the bathroom, and they never came out, and nobody was there.
Wow.
A time I was there on the couch asleep. I think I woke up at 7 a.m. or so, and I heard someone below us in the barn kind of moving things around. It sounded like I figured his dad getting a start on the day. His dad had already gone to work like 2 hours earlier, and he said that he hears that all the time down there. Nothing had been disturbed. And then the last weird thing, I guess, in that same barn, there was a house party going on, and his mom was distressing some window panes like these, the paint. Yeah. And they were leaning well against the wall. And I was just noodling around on an acoustic guitar, and the thing came away from the wall over the apex and just smashed. And so if that was a ghost, it didn't like my playing, apparently, or...
Are you any good?
Whatever. At that time, I was.
Have you played since then?
Maybe once a year.
Okay.
Nice.
So, not really.
Well, my son Davis does the music for the podcast, and I've just commissioned him to write an original song for the next go-around for the next season.
We have that song on our playlist. It plays every day in here.
Oh, no
on
kidding?
On Spotify, yeah.
Oh, that
weeknights.
is weeknights.
Oh, there you go.
Plays
he
every
will
day.
love to hear that, and that's his mom right there.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
That's really cool.
That's cool.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, no problem.
And
well, it's a good song. That
Andrew,
helps.
thanks for having us.
Yeah, anytime.
No kidding. And our first remote version of
Scooter News! Scooter News! We've had it all here.
And I'd like to thank our sponsor, Brisk Iced Tea.
Yes. Yeah. The weirdest paranormal sponsor ever.
And Vespa Portland. We want some money off on our next scooters. So there you go. Okay, guys, let's get back to it.
We got a 2-for-1 on Andrew's.
We did. We got
interview.
spooky news and scooter news.
Yeah.
And this thing is already getting a little bit long, but we did take another ride, did we not?
What?
Yeah.
More riding?
There was Dick's ride. There was your ride together without me.
Our cheat ride.
That was a little bit. But this morning we took the bromance ride. And now we took a ride this morning.
What about the one we did earlier in the week?
And then there was Dick and Mark's ride. I can't remember
You
where
guys
we went.
cheated on Lizard and I.
We
Well, a
stuck
little
out.
tit for tat, I see.
Where did we go there, Richard?
Well, let me refresh your memory. You had to take a recovery day after your time spent in Portland.
Right. I took a day off from work. We jumped on our scooters, and we went to
We started out at the camp bar.
the camp bar in Tacoma.
Oh, yeah. Nice stop.
Yeah, we met Jake at the camp bar. He was a bartender there and took good care of us. We had a good burger there.
We put about 5 miles on our scooters just parking them.
Yeah.
We got hassled by a meter maid on a bicycle.
And it was a dude meter maid.
Yeah.
So we're parked on the sidewalk like we normally do in front of the camp bar. And the guy comes by on the bike and he says, "Listen, guys, if you do that, I'm going to have to give you a ticket. Can't park there." So we go, "All right." So then we moved down onto the curb and
No, we went into the parking lot.
we went in the parking lot, and the bartender, Jake, said, "You can't park in that parking lot. We don't own it." And the guy would come out and scream at me. So we moved. That was 2. So then we moved him, and we put him in front of the camp bar. We hadn't even had a drink yet. Put him in front of the camp bar, and he goes, "You only have 30 minutes there. It's a loading zone." So we go, "Well, we're going to leave him there."
So he said, "You know what? We are getting loaded."
Lizard, that was beautiful. So we sat there for 27 minutes, and we ordered a burger, and by the time we had a drink and had the burger, our 27 minutes were up. We weren't quite finished, so we moved them one more time. So we moved our scooters 4 times in front of the camp bar.
That's a hell of a commitment.
And here's the deal. The business next door to them, out of business. The parking lot chained off. And across the street was the City of Tacoma building that they moved everybody out of, and it was empty. So everything was empty all the way around there, and we had the parking guy, hammering us.
Fucking bicycles.
You should have just pummeled the shit out of that guy. That's what I would have done.
Hi, this is Kate at the Sandy Hut in Portland, Oregon, and you're listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
Well, and then, Dick, where'd we go after you pummeled Jake?
We went up. There wasn't Jake. It was a meter maid. So we went up and around the corner to the 1111.
That was your first time there?
Yeah, first time at both places so far.
How did you like the 1111?
I thought it was really cool. Small, very personal feel. Service was outstanding. Unfortunately, we had already eaten, but I'd like to go back there to.
They have
eat.
They make a lot of sandwiches on big trays, and they bring them out.
And the meatballs.
The blue balls.
Blue balls.
Yeah. Those are good.
Molly.
Always a good stop.
And then from there, we went down to the valley, right?
No, we went to the Seven Seas.
Oh, Seven Seas tasting room. And we met Rachel Beth.
Rachel Beth. We did.
And Dick did the unthinkable. He said, "How old are you?"
Oh, Dick.
Well, she looked very young to me.
But she was 38, so she's in the range.
She was 39, she said.
Oh, 30. No, gonna be 39.
But she looked 38.
No, she looked like 25.
Wow.
Yeah, she was
Rachel
nice.
Beth.
Yeah, and she was fun. So she's going to do a little transition for us here on the podcast. I'll put her up next.
Oh, nice.
Next time, she only works Mondays. What day is today?
You were out on a Monday
That was
that
a
day.
Monday.
So she works Mondays there, but they also have a tasting room in Gig Harbor for Seven Seas where they started, and she works there full time. And she brews her own beer.
She a brewmaster?
She's a brew person.
Oh.
It was a cool place. I was impressed with the cleanliness and the motif and.
Oh, it's a gorgeous room.
Yeah, the cut wood tables and
Little sofa couch on the side.
Yeah, it's all lacquered and clean and.
The producer's couch. It's got it all.
It'll just take a moment.
I'll be right back.
All right. Well, anyway, Dick and I we had a great ride that day. And
Can we hear from Rachel Beth?
Yeah, let's do it now.
Hi, this is Rachel Beth at Seven Seas Brewing in Tacoma, Washington. You're listening to Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars.
So Portland was we had fun down there. We stayed at the Monaco, the Kimpton hotel property, and I can't say enough about those hotels. They do a great job.
Very nice.
#Kimpton. what did you think of your room?
Well, those rooms are always nice. They always do a great job. We were down there for a college basketball game where my son works, but ultimately we were down there
working on the podcast.
To drink.
Right. And so we had a good night that night, but the next day was epic. The next day
Sunday was unexpected.
Our wives went shopping because it was 10% off no matter what.
It's duty free.
There's no tax. And we decided to go on a little Sunday morning pub crawl.
Starting with?
The Sandy Hut.
Sandy Hut.
Of course.
Which...
Never disappoints.
It doesn't. I just wish they cared more for us. I wish they cared for us as much as we care for them.
That's hard to do.
Yeah. So Katie and Ashley were working on it.
Kate and Ashley. I've heard that
Kate
before.
and Ashley. And both of them, stunning, beautiful.
As always.
Yeah. They then said, why don't you boys leave and go to the Alibi Room, which is another property owned by
Tiki Bar.
Bleeding Heart, the corporation that owns Sandy Hut. And it's a 1960s tiki bar, open.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Almost a 2-for-1. You've got the cool little divey bar, tiki bar, and then around the corner you've got karaoke.
Like 24/7.
And if you saw my post with the two women in the furs, coming in at 11 in the morning to have a cocktail, Grandma and Mom came in together to sing karaoke to nobody. Except us.
And I will say this, for the first time ever, if you have not gone to your webpage or whatever, where are they at?
Yeah.
The title page?
Our Chasing Ghosts page. Yeah. At Chasing Ghosts.
You need to see these two and how they were gamed up.
They
were
good.
Hot to trot.
Anyway.
It caught your attention.
Oh, yeah. I wanted a picture with them. And then we left there. We got into another car. And where did we go?
The world famous Kenton Club.
The Kenton Club, which is haunted.
Yes.
And we got a little story.
We did get a story.
You were able to close the deal on that, yeah.
Right. So let's listen to that now. What do you think?
Perfect.
And I was in the bathroom, and this woman just started screaming bloody murder, out of nowhere.
In the bathroom?
No, I was in the bathroom, and it sounded like it was in the hallway.
But it was closed.
Oh yeah, nobody was here. It was locked and everything. And I came out, and I was freaked out. It sounded like she was being killed, And I was like, what is that? And then I didn't tell anyone for a while, and I told the owner, and she's like, oh, I have so many stories for you.
Really?
She's the one to talk to.
Well, here's a little drop-in piece. Bobby Chong swung in day after we recorded the podcast. He's sitting here. Hey, Bobby.
Hello, Mark.
I heard you had a little battery problem with your scooter.
Yes, after 7 years, it gave up. So I went and bought one without the old battery with me, and I got taken down the wrong path.
Speaking of going down the wrong path, when we were in Portland, this is a little bonus material. We were in Portland. We were on a ride with a Lyft driver in between two of the bars that we talked about earlier in the podcast. One of them was the Sandy Hut, and the other one was the Alibi Tiki Room. And with the Lyft driver driving us in between, he told us a little bit of his paranormal experience. And so here is Trevor, I believe his name is, and he is going to tell us his story about what happened to him that was really creepy with his brother. And my brother's sitting here, so that's kind of cool.
Yes.
And then after that, our new writer with us, Dick with the green scoot, is going to tell us a little bit of a conspiracy theory joke at the end. So wait till after the music by weeknights. And at that point, if you want to hear a little bonus material, there it is. You did get a new battery, right?
I did. I went back, and it was batteries and bulbs, I guess.
Batteries plus and bulbs.
Whatever. Anyway, they said, no problem, bring it back. Here's another one. Didn't charge me for a core, so I'm all set. And
they took care of you, and your scooter's running?
Scooter's outside.
Nice. And so I think it's actually Tyler, not Trevor. I call him Trevor. Anyway, here's his story, which we named this damn podcast after right now.
It wasn't anything really big, but I was sleeping, and all of a sudden, I was in sleep. I don't know how this worked all of a sudden, but I felt like I was being pushed down by my shoulders.
Yeah.
And I opened my eyes, and I couldn't move. I couldn't see anything, but I felt like I was being pushed down. And then my legs were being pushed down. Everything was just being kind of crushed. And for some reason, I couldn't breathe. I don't know. I don't know if it was sleep paralysis or whatever, but I couldn't do that. And after maybe a couple more minutes of that, or 1-2 minutes of that, I finally wrenched myself out. And my brother was also sleeping in the same room. Like, dude, we got to get out of this place.
Yeah. Did you see anything?
I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything, but I felt being pushed.
Yeah.
And I felt like, not hands, but just
They
just
call that
pressure.
old hags syndrome.
That's
too.
old hag syndrome.
Yeah, look it up. Look it up. And a lot of people get that same thing, and then they look in the corner, other like side view, because you can open your eyes, right? They can't move, and they see this old woman in a hood.
Oh,
it's
shit.
really spooky. So look it up if you experienced it. And we're talking to
Tyler Trimble,
and you're our Lyft driver.
Yep.
Nice. Tyler, can you do one more thing?
What's up?
Say, this is Tyler Trimble.
This is Tyler Trimble.
And you're listening to?
And you're listening to Ghosts and Bars and Scooters?
Yeah, something like that. Thank you.
Okay, this has been a nice little recap of what we've done lately, but what's coming down the road? Because this is our heavy season.
Right, we're starting to gear up. I mean,
The weather's getting
spring
nicer.
is only a couple of days away.
You
By the
finally
time you
removed
get
your
this-
winter skirt
my
and your scooter.
Oh, would you explain that to our listeners, Mark?
Yeah, if you're vaginally
My
challenged,
my moo-moo.
and you're afraid of the cold weather. You've been mama's boy from day one. You've been spoiled.
Ask Bobby Chung; he'll tell you.
You're high maintenance your entire
Bobby
life. If
Chance,
you're that
his wife
person,
took him by the ear and took him to Seattle today.
you would understand what a skirt is for your scooter. And Mark, you've got one.
I do. And
You've
I
been
love
raving about it.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Anyway, that was good to see that go away.
I did take
Which
it
means
off.
the
and it was
seasons
a
are changing.
60-degree day in Seattle. Gorgeous.
And we hope to do more riding and more podcasts here soon.
It's hard for me to believe that you bought a brand new skirt when you could have just modified one of the ones that you had in your closet.
That's something I don't share with everybody.
That's a different podcast.
It doesn't mean you're gay if you cross-dress. I just want to make sure we're all clear about that. Hey, I invested a little bit of money for the company.
What'd you buy now?
I hired Weeknights to write an original song for our podcast that
Really?
we own.
Oh,
Our house band is writing an original song for us.
Well, we play their original music already. They've let us use that, which is great.
but this is going to be just for us.
Yeah, they're writing a song just for us, for our opening, for transitions, for any way we want to use it, and sound beds and everything. So,
But you must be connected,
well, you know I am.
or you're getting pretty darn famous because
you know,
of
the
this
guys
podcast.
at the Vespa Portland, they listen to Weeknights in their shop. They told us that, if you remember,
Are we still the number one podcast in the world
for
for
scooters.
scooters and
Maybe just scooters
ghosts?
now.
Really?
Maybe scooters and ghosts. Or maybe scooters and bars. I think we're moving
Somewhere
up,
there.
We're moving up the chart. So get your reviews in. Thanks for listening. We'll be back because we took a ride today and interviewed the owner of a couple of great bars, several restaurants and bars in Tacoma, including a very haunted one up on 6th Avenue called E9.
So there will be an episode 23?
There will be, and it'll be
All right.
dropping soon.
Okay.
Thanks to Weeknights. Thanks to the crew. Dick, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
To the Scooter Clan. And until we talk to you in a few
It's a
days,
wrap.
this is a wrap.
So the conspiracy theorist dies,
Yeah.
gets to heaven, meets God, and God tells him, you know, you've been a pretty good guy most of your life, and I'm willing to answer any question that you've ever had. One. And the conspiracy theorist says, well, you know, I really always wanted to know who was involved in the JFK assassination. And God says, well, that's very easy. It was Lee Harvey Oswald, and he acted alone. And the conspiracy theorist says, man, this goes higher than I thought.
This podcast and all original material is copyright by Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars 2019.